Greetings, every people. It's your cult of personality here. ToonKritic's name. Toon's name.
This podcast is going to be perfect. The podcast that we all have dreamed since we were small.
Are you serious? Did you seriously just do that?
He totally did. Wow.
Yes.
Nice one.
Hashtag no regrets.
That's Golden Fox, everybody. Alright, so yes, welcome to a very special heartwarming edition of Roundtable is Magic. So, this is only our second holiday special. Last year, we had Antony C on to discuss Hearthwarming Eve, but today, we bring to you a very special Roundtable interview. Today's guest is a voice actress, musician, and the voice of one Princess Cadence. Ladies and gentlemen, Britt McKillip.
Thank you so much. What a lovely introduction.
I always try to hype up people, make them look good. You know, that's what I think I seem to do best.
You did a great job. That was awesome.
Thank you very much. We also have Lightning Bliss.
How come you don't do that with me?
We'll talk.
I'm an Alec Court too.
And Voice of Reason.
Hi.
Oh, just a simple hi for you. And then there was Golden Fox who did his little thing. I was hoping this was going to
It sets a bit of a standard on our podcast.
I suppose so. Yeah. So let's actually get this started. So, Miss McKillip, for those that do not know who you are besides your voice in My Little Pony, who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name is Britt McKillip. I have been voice acting since I was very young. I guess I started out when I was about probably 6 years old, if you can believe that. And I've been lucky enough to appear on various animation shows and kept going, and I'm very, very lucky.
If I'm correct, also you played You've played in a previous generation of My Little Pony as Tralala.
That's right. Wow, you're good.
I did my research.
I didn't think anyone would know that.
No,
that's the beauty of behind the voice actors.
Hold on, you mean the third generation or
from
yes?
She must have been
onwards.
She must have been at least 12 or something.
No, this was only 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but I mean, yeah, I think that was a little bit later on into my career, I guess, if you could say. I was still a kid. I was still a child, remember, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. You always got to start up there. So let's actually get the first big question out of the way. What would you consider to be your first big break into voice acting?
Well, I would have to say it's probably a toss-up between Make Way for Naughty, which was a TV series. It was I think that must have been my first show that I ever appeared on, and I played Tessie Bear. And it would either be that or Baby Looney Tunes. I played Baby Lola in Baby Looney Tunes.
Yep.
So, yeah, one of those two.
I actually vaguely remember Baby Looney Tunes. I remember catching a few episodes of it when I was very young. So.
Oh, do you? Oh, that's awesome.
Bliss, you're up next. You have to forgive her. She's unfortunately a little under the weather, but she's good enough to be here.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry to hear that.
If she's still there. Wait,
I think she went to the bathroom for a bit.
Okay, I'll just skip over a question then. Wait, that was my question next. I'll go next. We were jumping around all over the place with these because we hadn't have time to properly organize this, so whatever.
Great.
So other than voice acting, you're also a musician as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us more about your musical career?
Well, I mean, I've been singing since I could talk, pretty much. I always wanted to make a career out of music. For as long as I can remember, that's all I wanted to do. And my dad is actually a record producer, and my mom is a songwriter. So we grew up in a very musical family. And so my sister and I always grew up singing together, and we sort of begged my dad for many, many years to make an album with us, and he always turned us down. He kept saying, no, you're too young, nope. And one day he caved, and he made an album with us, and that album got us our first record deal, and the rest is history.
Well, awesome. Listen to music. You have a very lovely singing voice, and it shows not just in Not just in your outside of Pony, but also in Pony as well as Cadence.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet.
Voice, you're up. Speaking of Cadence.
Yes. Now we asked a couple of the I think we asked Nicole Oliver this, or at least a variation of this. But what qualities of Princess Cadence do you see in yourself?
Well, I would have to say probably that we're both very family-oriented people, ponies. And, you know, we both have a lot, I think we're both probably softies. And, you know, a lot of love in our hearts. But I think I'm going to answer that question in reverse, because I always feel like we're very different. It's kind of funny, actually, when I think about it, because I think of Cadence as very, you know, she's very together. She's regal. She exudes confidence. And I don't know, you know, if any of you know this about me. You probably, if you've seen me at a convention, you probably noticed that I'm very shy. I'm a very shy person. So I always think it's so funny that I play a princess who's just, you know, she's got a lot of confidence. And I always wish that if I could take anything away from Cadence, it would be, I would take that confidence into my own life.
So you're not a secret adrenaline junkie like Cadence.
No, I'm not much of an adrenaline junkie. Not really. But yeah, no, I mean, she amazes me. Yeah, it'd be kind of weird.
That's really cool, though. It's interesting to see how some voice actors or actresses, when they play a character, it sort of reflects off of them, and vice versa. We don't see that as often as we should.
Totally. Yeah. No. It's and I love being able to play characters that are, you know, sort of different personalities from mine. I think it's great to be able to come out of your shell and be somebody totally different. I mean, obviously that's the joy of acting. So yeah, it's been a real treat to be able to play Cadence.
All right, Bliss is back, so I guess do her question.
Hope you're feeling all right.
Yes, I am so sorry. Oh, no, it's fine. I'm sorry that I just suddenly had to go. I had to go. And I'm like, it's so embarrassing. So I do apologize. But yes, I tend to ask this with every person who's in voice acting careers, because it's always interesting to hear. Everybody's answer seems to be very different. But aside from voice acting, did you have other dreams or career goals you were interested in before voice acting?
Yeah. Well, we were just talking before about my sister and I and how we sing together in a group. And I think growing up, it was always music. I always wanted to be a musician. And I was like a little performer. I would sing for anyone who would listen. I think actually my parents told me a story about, we were waiting outside a restaurant, a very busy restaurant. We were waiting in line one day. I think I must have been 3 or 4 years old, and I must have been bored. And so I started to sing for everyone. And a guy actually gave me $1. That was probably my first, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this.
And you said, just a while ago, you said you're shy?
I'm very shy. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't make much sense. And that's probably why it works so well that I happen to be in a group with my sister, because, you know, she kind of takes the reins when I'm a bit, you know, when I'm in my shell and we're on stage, and I think she can just tell when she sort of needs to take over. You know, I kind of get a little bit just socially awkward. So it's really good to have your sister there, and she can kind of pick up on those cues. But I think other than music, I always wanted to work with animals. Like growing up, I at one point I was like, oh, I'm going to be a zoologist, but that didn't work out.
That's it. That's really
still
cool.
Really cute, though. Just really quick bonus question: do you have any remedies for if you're sick and you have to record? Do you know any of good remedies to help with the throat?
Okay, this is a weird one. This is a really weird one. Well, I find anything greasy, I find it to be really good for the voice. Just like I find that it kind of coats my throat, or maybe it's just psychological, but or maybe it's just an excuse to eat McDonald's French fries. But
okay, so note to self: Eat fast food.
Or Lay's potato chips, just original Lay's potato chips. I find that like the combination of the grease and kind of cuts through anything gross in your voice. I find it works.
Oh.
I can kind of see that. It's very slick.
Yeah.
Next time I get a sore throat, I'll try that.
No, it's just like,
There
hey,
you
you're
go.
sick. Here's what you need to do. You need to go to McDonald's and get the greasiest thing that you can. There you go. Solves all your problems.
Exactly. There you go.
Funny thing, I did hear that somebody wanted a burger with extra grease once.
Oh my gosh, how do you get that?
I
Well,
don't know.
the rule is with hamburgers, especially in my area, if there's no grease running off your arm with a hamburger, then there's something wrong with it. That's the rule.
Wow. Well, yeah, I could agree with that.
So that's one thing we're taking away from today's interview.
What's good there today, class?
That's interesting. Anyway, Fox, you're up.
All right. Since that, it's interesting that you tell how much of an based on your real life personality and how you play your character. Have there been any fun moments when you were voicing Cadence with the staff for any episodes Cadence was involved in?
Okay, this is gonna sound like a very typical answer, but honestly, it's always fun whenever I get to go into the studio and be part of My Little Pony. It's such a good time. And like I said before, I'm really shy, but I always find when I'm around those people, I mean, they're all extroverts. I mean, you probably know this, like just the people you work with. I mean, you have to be to do this, to have this job, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it just so happens that I'm not always, and they tend to bring me out of my shell a bit. And especially like our voice director, Terry, he's just hilarious to work with. He's always making jokes, and like sometimes he pokes fun at you. And I've known him since I was a kid, so it's okay with me, and I kind of like it. And you're always laughing, and especially like if you're in the studio with someone like Tabitha, it's always hilarious. You just have to keep yourself from laughing because she's so funny. If it's not the way she said a line that makes you laugh, it's what she's saying in between takes. It's like constantly. It's like you're sitting around with a bunch of comedians.
That's
So-
I
very important.
simply cannot even. The bad guys have won. I'm so sorry.
I think I really noticed this actually at Ponyville Oktoberfest this year during the script reading that you did with everyone. That was something I think pretty special because it's a mix. Because I can see up on the stage, there's a lot of introverted and a lot of extroverted people, and they're all kind of just trying to mesh together, and it's a weird combination that seems to work.
Totally, yeah, no, 100%. And I think I think it's kind of like that in the studio. It's just, yeah, most of them are kind of extroverts, and occasionally you get someone like me. But when you're surrounded by those people, it's not hard to come out of your shell.
That's good, I think, because as someone who was super introverted, now super extroverted, I totally get where everyone's coming from now. When this is an extroverted job, it's interesting. I'll say that.
Totally.
So my next question: you've been playing Princess Cadence for quite a while now. So what is your take on her as years have gone by, and do you feel she has developed at all?
Well, I actually feel like Cadence has had like the ultimate character development. I mean, of any character I've played. I mean, when it comes to, animation shows, I don't think it's not very often that you see a character develop into like a parent. That's pretty unusual to see in animation shows. So I think that's really cool that you get to see Cadence become very maternal, and, she's not just a princess now. She's a mother, and that changes things. And I even liked, we got to do that episode where you see her in shining armor as two frazzled parents. And I just think that was so great, because you usually see Cadence, she's regal, and that episode she was very human, and I thought that was really fun. You got to see a different side of her that was very real.
Yeah.
So
I want to say, though, do you have like that kind of chemistry outside with Andrew Francis as well? Because you two are playing like characters that are together. In a sense, I want to ask, like, what kind of chemistry do you two have, like, outside when you guys are, like, either at cons or when you're working together on a different project? Does that kind of chemistry carry over?
well, Andrew is like my buddy. He's so awesome, you know, like he's so great to work with. I've known him for a long time, and he's a lot of fun, and he's easy to talk to, and yeah, like we're buddies for sure. And he's worked with my sister too. So like, you know, we have, I guess he has a history with all the McKillips.
Okay. That's actually pretty cool because
right, because he voiced. Oh no! I'm trying to think because I know your sister voiced Sakura on Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah, no. She and Andrew worked together on a movie recently, but not on Cardcaptors, but on an actual a movie. And so yeah, like they know each other, we know each other, and you know, we all hung out, the three of us, at one convention we all attended back in the day, and it was just so much fun. And yeah, Andrew's a great guy. He's awesome.
Back in the day for most of us is 2010, 2011 when this first started out. So
exactly. Yeah, back
Speak for yourself.
Anyway, Bliss, you're up.
Oh, 1 second.
Go ahead. Hang on. Should I go to Uber Eats and get you some McDonald's?
Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna talk to you later, sir.
Hi, I'd like to get a Big Mac with extra grease, please.
Extra grease.
No, you don't understand. The kind of thing between like Shining Arbor and Princess Cadence is kind of like the same thing here between me and Bliss, except we're like best friends and whatnot. So chemistry really comes over this podcast.
He's Excuse me. I am so sorry.
No worries.
Tootie here is a spoiled little brat, little brother of mine. So pay no attention to him.
Oh man.
You know your place, Edgelord.
Not that obnoxious brother.
All right. Just a question.
Okay, so I normally do not do this, but I am going to change my question because I feel like you've already answered it.
Okay.
This is a question that I've asked a lot of voice actors, and it's always interesting to hear everybody's different response. Because I know I would get some really loud reactions, and then I would get some like very calm and professional reactions. So it's always interesting to hear. So I have, in fact, come across people who have gone out of their way to be ugly about it and say that voice acting is not a real job.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, everybody knows what I'm talking about. And I can tell you right now, I do a voice for myself, my pony Sana, in a way, and her name is, I'm Lightning Bliss. And
I'll do that
like,
for
I'm
ourselves.
struggling to talk right now without coughing up a lung.
Oh, no, you poor thing.
And, but I'm just talking normally right now, and it's taking effort because I'm a little under the weather. But I remember it was last year during a holiday special that unfortunately did not get finished, and somebody in one of our community asked me to do a voice of Mrs. Beaver from Narnia, and she wanted me to put on a British accent. I am untrained in voice acting. I have barely any theater experience, maybe from high school. I am an animator and editor, a video editor at most. I can't voice act to save my life, and these guys know this. So I had to pull off a Mary Poppins accent and do several lines.
This is a Texan
That
doing
is
that
quite
voice.
good, actually.
This is quite a very difficult accent, darlings, and I just cannot do it constantly and repeatedly over and over, and I simply cannot. And high rarity.
But to get to your question,
Getting to my point. What do you have to say to those people who say voice acting is not a real job?
Well, you know what? I would have to agree with them. It can't possibly be a real job because it's too much fun. It's too awesome. Like,
we can't have fun as a job?
I know, right? I know that's what we grow up believing, right? But I mean, it feels more like a dream than a job. It really, I know that sounds cheesy, but it's the truth. I mean, it's to be able to do something that you truly enjoy, that you love, and you have a good time doing, like, and on top of that, you get paid to do it. That's just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, like, totally, that's not a real job. Like,
this is a different response. I have never heard this response. I kind of like it.
Well, I mean, I kind of get their point. I get it. It is a little bit, it's a weird one for sure. Like when you tell, I mean, if I told a random stranger that, what I did for a living, they'd probably be like, sorry, what do you do? Like, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but I wouldn't change it for the world. It's the best job in the world. So.
No, I think that's actually really good.
But it is a job. She just said it is a job, though.
Is.
So,
okay, yeah. I consider it a job, but I understand why some people might say it can't possibly be a job because, it just is. It just is too cool.
I understand that. We kind of jumped around a little bit. I was initially going to ask that as the final question, but I have a different question for the last question then. But
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Voice, you're up.
All right, back on track with Cadence. Now that we have technically 4.5 alicorns in the show,
I think that 5.
Five.
I'm going with A&Y's thing 4.5. But
Okay.
but anyway, like when I see the dynamic of the main 4 alicorns, I always see Celestia as the motherly figure. What part of the alicorn quartet do you see Cadence as?
Yeah. Okay. So I think personally, I see Cadence as sort of being the gentle, loving, compassionate one. I think she sort of has the ability to, see the best in everyone, and she might not really be the power behind the group, but I also think she is able to be strong and assertive when she needs to be. So, I mean, I think her main role is just to love and to be kind and to be a princess that, we can look up to, that everyone can look up to. That's her role.
Okay, that seems pretty simple.
So, yeah.
All right, Fox, you're up.
Okay, so I do remember you mentioning that looking at your character, and the one moment she had was when she and Shining Armor were shown up at the front door of Twilight's castle, and like you can see her hair is like kind of messed up, but it shows how much more human it is. Are there any other moments that you are proud of with your character, such as, I don't know, just to give a random example, your character being thrown like a javelin?
Sorry, what was that? Could you repeat the last bit?
Oh, to give an example, I was asking, like, aside from having the human side of Cadence with the messed up hair with Shining Armor, with Flurry Heart, are there any other moments that you also enjoyed and are proud of with your character in the show, such as, and I'm giving a random example here, your character was thrown like a javelin in the Crystal Empire?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would have to say, I mean, I feel proud to have been able to be the singing voice of Cadence. I mean, anytime there's a song, anytime there's a song that Cadence is a part of, I feel very honored because I think the music is so good, and it's really cool to get to be the voice behind a great song. I love the music. I think the music is just so well done. So I feel very proud to be a part of that.
You know what? I don't blame you because, I don't want to go I don't want to drift too far off the subject. I heard somewhere that in the production of Canterlot Wedding, This Day Aria was kind of a song that was thought up at the last minute, and it's like one of the most beloved songs in the fandom. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know either, actually. I mean, I don't know how last minute it was, but I certainly was, amazed when I, discovered the response that it got was just insane. People love it, and, and I understand why. I mean, it's a great song, but it's still, when you see that, so many people respond to that song, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah, because it plays off the two different attitudes of, the real Cadence and Chrysalis impersonating Cadence.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I'm so proud of that one. I think it's just such a great song. And I still look back and think, oh, man, I wish I could remember more of that session because I was probably so nervous that some of it is blocked out of my memory, but that's all I remember. It's just being really nervous.
Well, what about a more
Yeah, but
recent
if it's
one?
something like, ooh, yeah.
I was gonna ask,
A
what about
more
like your
recent...
like you'll play your part? How about that, for example?
Yeah, you know what? I love the fact that was sort of a group thing, and everybody sort of got a part. And that's a lot of fun to get to sing with other people. It's always a treat because everyone is so talented, so to get to be witness to that is awesome. Just soaking in all the talent in the room. It's just crazy.
I guess we can end this on one last question. So I originally was going to go with the whole voice acting isn't a real job. What are your thoughts on that? But I'll just end it with this. What is the one best piece of advice you've ever been given that you wish to pass on to others?
Well, I've been told that I'm my worst critic, and that it can, be a detriment to me. And sometimes when all you listen to is judgment and, the harsh criticism and what you're doing wrong, it can really mess with your head, and actually it can make you not do as good of a job. I feel like when I'm doing my best work, when I'm confident and I know what I'm doing is great and I feel good about myself. So even if it's, this might sound like weird advice, but even if you have to lie to yourself sometimes and say, even if you don't fully believe it, tell yourself that you believe in yourself and you think what you're doing is great. And you will eventually start to believe it, and it will reflect in your work and everything you do. It'll come through, and then you'd be surprised, what happens from there.
Okay. I think that's actually really good advice. I suffer from that as well. I'm my own worst critic as well.
Yeah.
I think that's something with everyone.
Yeah, totally. I mean, everybody's guilty of it. We all do it, and we just sort of have to retrain our brains to not look at ourselves, in the worst light. It's just
to give my 2 cents. I think that's also because a lot of us would fear that we would have that kind of judgment.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard too, like when you are getting, a negative response from someone else. It's really hard to block that out. And I mean, I've had to deal with that my whole life because I chose a profession where you get shot down constantly, and so learning how to get out of that headspace and block that negativity out, I'm still learning how to do it. Like, I still find that it affects my work sometimes. It affects how I carry myself in my daily life, and I have to really constantly tell myself to not listen to it. So I know it's easier said than done, but it's just, we're all a work in progress, and we just have to try to get better every day, and and it'll show through.
All right.
Yeah.
Bliss, Voice, did you two have any other questions you wanted to ask, or are you both good?
Oh, I just wanted to pitch in that yesterday I had to listen to Mr. Toon over here complain about how bad he sounds at singing.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, are you...
Oh my God.
Yeah, you shush. This guy can sing. He knows how to sing. He's a little self-conscious because he just recovered from a cold himself, and thinks he doesn't sound well. And I gave it a listen. He's doing a cute little duet with one of our other friends, Baby It's Cold Outside, and I thought he did smashingly, and I just want the entire stream to know this.
Thank you. That's revenge, isn't it? All right, I see how it is.
Honestly, I could say I'm looking forward to more of Cadence's future roles as mother, sister-in-law, and the fourth member of the Alicorn Quartet in season 8.
Yeah, that's a big thing. What are you looking forward to in season 8, if I may ask?
What am I allowed to say? First of all,
I was saying what?
No. Yeah. No spoilers.
Nice. Okay, I should probably keep my mouth shut because I've been in trouble for this before.
Okay, what
Okay,
do you
no
hope
problem.
to see then?
What do I hope to see? Well, a lot more of Cadence.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's what I'm gonna say. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, that seems fair enough on that. All right, so we're at the end of this interview. Before we head off, is there anything you'd like to plug? Shameless self-promotion time.
Oh my goodness! Wow, you get shameless self-promotion.
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, okay, I will go ahead and plug. Well, actually, I've been a part of some really cool new stuff. I've been working on a show called Super Monsters, and it's a really really cute show, and I'm very proud of that one. It's on Netflix right now. If anyone wants to give it a watch, and I actually happen to work with Andrea on that one as well. So
Andrea
it's very cute.
Yep.
So yeah.
We would love to get Andrea on here at some point. She seems like a real swell gal to talk to and whatnot.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. Yeah. No, she's awesome.
All right. Okay, so with that taken care of, I think we are pretty much done here. So, once again, for everyone who's watching, go and show Britt some love. She's got, I believe, like Twitter. Her music is also amazing as well. Looking forward to seeing what we got with Season 8 and possibly Season 9 onwards. And, yeah, from all of us here at Roundtable's Magic, thank you for an awesome year. Happy Hearthswarming, Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Decemberween, whatever you celebrate, Happy Holidays, and have a good 2018.
Happy holidays, everyone.
ToonKriticY2K.